What's going on YouTube? Ross's Reef bringing you an update of the Nuvo Fusion 25-gallon Lagoon. So guys, this video is going to be a video on my maintenance and schedule, dosing, some products I use, pretty much everything that I do to keep this tank running. The first thing, I guess I'll cover my lighting. I know I've showed y'all this in the past, but I am now currently running two Hydra 26 HDs with a 3D reefing diffuser on both of them. I do highly like the diffusers. If you have these lights or the primes, go check out 3D Reefing and pick you up some. They're really good. In terms of protein skimmer, I am running the Innovative Marine DC protein skimmer. It's one of their new ones. This is a vast improvement over their old model, the Ghost. When I had my Innovative Marine 20, I ran the Ghost okay, but this one I feel runs a lot better, and as you can see, I mean, my tank stays pretty clear all the time. I am also running the Minimax reactor. I like this reactor. It works pretty good for what it is and everything. I do have to change out the carbon every probably 4 to 7 days in here. Luckily, I'm only using about 2 tablespoons of bulk reef supply ROX carbon. The reason I have to change it out is not because the carbon goes bad, but because the Minimax reactor itself just gets clogged. You know, you're supposed to have 2 sponges on top, 2 sponges on bottom, and whenever I feed this tank or anything, eventually those sponges just suck up food and stuff, and it causes a clog and water just doesn't flow. As you can see, this actually needs to be changed now. You can see it's actually not even flowing anymore. If I stop talking, you'll hear like a clicking. And that's how I know that I need to change it out. I can just walk by the tank and tell that it's not filtering anymore because it's clogged. So I do change that out every 7 to 10 days as needed. I'm running a micro auto top off. I forget the exact name, but it's one of those small ones. It does have the laser eye right there. I like it a lot. I have never had a malfunction with this auto top off yet, and it's worked great for me. So in terms of what I'm dosing, this is a dosing holder that I made myself. I 3D print them, and as some of you may be aware, I do sell them online, and then I also sell my water level razors for these tanks, as well as other Innovative Marine tanks as well. But I am running bionic calcium, alkalinity, and magnesium, and then I'm also running aqua vitro fuel. At current standings, this tank, I believe I have the alkalinity up to about 21 mils per day. I'm actually still trying to hone that number in, guys. I don't know exactly what this tank is uptaking, but I think I'm getting very close. My guess is it's right now going to be sucking up about 23 to 24 mils per day. I'm going to need to check my alkalinity prior to a water change and then check after a water change so I know how much to adjust. Like if I need to add some after my alkalinity may either dip or raise or whatever. My current calculations is on this size water volume is that for every 1 mil of my alkalinity, it raises my DKH by 0.14. So if I dose 5 mils, I think that's about 0.7 points of DKH is what I have it figured out for. And then currently I think I'm dosing about 25 mils of calcium per day. And that is keeping my calcium slightly elevated around like 470 to 480. My alkalinity, I'm trying to keep around 9 DKH. And currently my magnesium, last time I checked it, was about 1,500. I'm actually trying to get that number up to 1,600. Recently, since increasing my magnesium, I've noticed I've had less algae on my sand bed, and that's with me having added a second light too, guys. So I was told that having a higher magnesium can help fight off algae, and I'm kind of a believer in that now. So my corals are looking pretty good. I'm gonna keep the magnesium raised, try to get it up to 1,600. So that's pretty much the additives and everything that I have and running on a daily. In terms of what I feed my corals, I do a mix of things. Most recently, what I've been doing is I did get the Polylabs Extend, the polyp booster. I'll feed that in my tank. I'll kind of cut off the return pump, the protein skimmer, and the Minimax reactor. I'll have the MP10 running for a bit, and then have that circulate throughout the tank for about 15 minutes. And then I'll cut off that, and then normally all my corals are extended, especially this Lobo right here, really the tentacles come out, the Bower Banky, my Scoli, and my 2 plates, those open up, as well as my candy canes back here. The Blasto opens up as well. So yeah, that's just what I do. And then I will feed, most recently it's been Benny Pets. I've been trying that. I've been trying to keep up on a good dosing schedule. You know, I was told that unless you're actually feeding Benny Pets as directed, it really doesn't do any good, because the main thing that you're dosing in this tank, or getting out of Benny Pets, I should say, is going to be the probiotics. So unless you keep up with that, you're not really doing too much good. But prior to that, I was using Reefroids, and I may go ahead and every now and then still dose some Reefroids and everything. But what I most recently did is, instead of more so broadcast feeding, I'll do maybe double the amount of what they recommend for this size tank, and then I'll add a little bit of water and almost get it like a slushy type material. And then I have a big syringe that I'll have all the pumps in the tank cut off, and then I'll go and drop like a big amount onto all my big LPS corals, like the Scoli. Right when I do that, its mouth opens up completely and it engulfs all of it. Same with the plate, the Lobo, the Bower Banky. They just love it. The Blasto and the Hammers, those are all big feeders when it comes to me doing a more concentrated dose of food. So that's what I feed, what I dose, and everything. In terms of maintenance, I am also running a Innovative Marine UV sterilizer. I think this bulb actually needs to be changed. It most definitely probably does need to be changed. I'm not sure it's doing too much anymore. But I have that running right over there. And then in this media basket, it is an in-tank media basket. I have Matrix, Seachem Matrix, I believe, in there. And then I have like 2 little layers of I believe it is also in-tank filter floss, and then I also have a piece of in-tank filter floss in there. I change those out kind of as needed. I can kind of just spot check them and see when they need to be changed. If I have to give a date, it's probably every 4 to 5 days that I change those out. I have quite a few squares already cut up underneath my tank and everything, and I just kind of replace those as needed. You have seen probably in the past that I'm running the 5-gallon auto top-off container. I'd say that'll last me about 2 weeks if it's all the way full, before I have to refill that, which is a good amount for me. I can go out of town for a weekend or something and not have to worry. I do have a backup battery system on this tank for the MP10. I like it a lot. I have not ever had a power outage, but I do have the safe of mind knowing that I do have that in case I ever do experience that. So water changes, I do also kind of as an as-needed thing. I can kind of just spot this tank and tell when it's getting a little dirty and when I need to do a water change. Since having the magnesium higher, I have not done as many water changes because there's not as much algae and stuff growing on the sand bed and everything. The only reason I kind of think about maybe doing water changes now is maybe to just clear up the water a little bit, maybe add some trace elements back into the tank. I am currently using Tropic Marin Classic salt, and I like it a lot. I was using the Pro before when I was running kind of lower alkalinity and everything. I do run this tank. The nitrates are pretty much 0, and so are the phosphates in this tank. More recently, though, I did have a slight bump in my phosphates, and they're actually running a little higher. But I'm not seeing any negative results. If anything, all the colors look great in here, and everything's going good. Now, in terms of the Aquavitro fuel, guys, because I'm running such a low ultra nutrient system, I'm dosing 5 mils of aqua vitro per day. I'm sure some of that is just going to waste. I'm probably overdosing that is about probably 3 times the recommended dosage for this size tank. And I mean, I think I'm getting good results though. I'm not going to change anything. I may be wasting it. I'm not seeing any detrimental results like an overabundance of algae growing or anything like that. I'm sure some of it is sucked up by my media reactor. I'm sure some of it is sucked up by the protein skimmer, but I don't care. It's not too much that I'm having to dose on this size tank. And I mean, the colors that I'm getting are really good. You can see over here, this is my utter chaos. The oranges in this tank are really, really nice. Right now, guys, I am filming this with a Polylab yellow lens, not an orange lens. So these colors that you're seeing right now are pretty much what I'm seeing. The orange is maybe a slight deeper color than that, but that neon green hammer is exactly what I'm seeing. Same with that hammer right there. The Scully is exactly what I'm seeing, maybe a slightly more enhanced purple hue on there. But yeah, for the most part, these are the colors that I am seeing in my tank right now. The oranges, like I said, are a little bit less on the video than what I'm seeing in person. But normally I do keep a lid on this tank as well because I have had fish jump out. I have learned my lesson on that. Will not make that mistake again. But yeah, guys, this has been an update and on the maintenance and everything that I do. If you have any questions, please leave it below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I'm happy to answer any questions, and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Thanks.